everyone! Today I'll be showing you how I styled the wig for my book look on the Everlasting Rose, the second book to the Belle series by Dhonielle Clayton. If you haven't seen my book look on the Belles yet, I'll have it linked down below, so please feel free to check it out. It's one of my top favorite YA fantasy series yet, as well as one of my favorite book looks to have put together. And right off the bat for this look, I knew I wanted to style a wig similar to the one that I styled for the Belles, but with more story elements from the Everlasting Rose, while also sticking to the color palette of the book cover. To do that, I purchased this lovely light purple synthetic wig from Amazon, which I can also link down below. But this is sort of what the wig looks like right out of the bag, and in order to style it in the way that I want for this book look, I'm setting it up on a wig block and a tripod so I can curl and set it before I go to sleep for the night. Disclaimer, I am a complete newbie when it comes to styling wigs. I am by no means at all a professional, but the way I styled this wig specifically for this book look on the Everlasting Rose was first by brushing it all out and sectioning it off into layers to be curled, starting with the front portion. And I'm using a teasing brush handle to help me get a clean part, using the actual wig wefts to help me evenly split everything off. Once I have my front portion separated, I'm going to start sectioning and curling the back portion layer by layer, again using the wig wefts to help me get straight and even parts of hair. Starting with the first bottom layer of hair, I'm sectioning it off into 3 equal parts, and I'm using these flexi rod curlers as well as these roller curlers to help curl the whole wig. For this layer, I'm starting by winding each section of hair down the flexi rod and fastening them by bending the ends to keep the spiral shape. Once that's done, I'm repeating the same steps, sectioning off a layer, splitting them into 3 to 4 equal parts, and winding each of them around a flexi rod. For the centermost parts of the wig, I'm using the roller curlers, not for any particular reason. Both curlers create the same kind of curls. I just wanted to be neat and symmetrical while I was curling, and I'm pinning those in place with some bill clips that I had on hand. And I'm going to repeat the same process until the whole back portion of the wig is curled and pinned into place. I'm finishing off the front portion with my flexi rods, and once everything is all set, I'm going to grab my handy dandy steamer and start steam curling the wig. I'm also going to throw a plastic bag over it to ensure I trap an even amount of steam over the entire wig. And I'm going to let that plastic bag sit for a couple more minutes before removing it and letting the wig sit and cool overnight. Once the wig is all cool and dry the next day, I'm carefully taking each curl out layer by layer, and I think this is probably my favorite part. It's so fun to see how nice and bouncy the curls come out, and I can't help myself from playing with them each time I take one out. After all the curlers are taken out, I'm just running my fingers through the wig and zhuzhing it up a bit so I get some more volume to work with, and I'm sectioning the front curls off one more time just to save for later. To start styling the wig, I'm using a huge donut bun as my base, and I'm using about 4 of these spiral pins to secure it onto the wig cap. And this is going to serve as the base for when I start to stack the wig hair on top of it for height. To do that, I'm spritzing some heavy-duty hairspray all over the middle sections of the hair and using a teasing brush to rat the crap out of the curled sections, leaving the front and backmost sections alone for later. I'm only teasing the innermost portions of the wig since that's what I'll primarily be using to give the wig height and body moving forward. Once I've got a huge mess of teased hair, I'm pulling all of that over on top of the donut bun, tying the ends together with a small elastic and kind of smooshing, pinning, and hairspraying everything together until it's pretty solid and secure. And this beehive shape is what we'll be working around while styling and decorating the rest of the wig. After another spritz of hairspray, I'm taking my front layers and I'm laying them across the beehive shape and spreading, hairspraying, and pinning them into place to hide the beehive as best as I can. I'm doing the same with the back portion as well, but leaving a little bit on one side just to hang prettily over my shoulder for the final look. Next, it's time for accessorizing, and for this wig I wanted to do the same Marie Antoinette-like style that I did for the Belles, but for this wig I wanted to stick to the color palette and flower types on the book spine and cover, while also choosing flower colors that would also complement the color of the wig. I didn't use any pins or any other tools to stick the flowers into the wig, and I just used some wire cutters to cut about 5 to 6 inches down each of the flower stems, and just use those to stick the flowers in place on the wig. Surprisingly, they held fairly well, once you kinda shove them into place and show them who's boss. Like my Belle's wig, I started with the biggest flower of the bunch on one side, and I'm using these little lavender-like flowers to sort of make a fan shape around the big flower. From there, I'm trailing smaller clusters of flowers down toward the front of the wig, and doing the same on the other side, but placing 2 kinds of feathers toward the back just to give the wig some balance and a little bit more height. Next, I'm using these smaller gold flowers and leaves, and I'm randomly dotting them all around and in between the larger flowers, just to tie in more of the gold from the cover. Slight spoiler alert, if you've read The Belles and the Everlasting Rose, you'll know the reference and significance of spider webs, and I really wanted to draw upon that by incorporating gold spider web accessories onto the wig and the overall look. I'm also sticking a branch of purple berries alongside the back feathers, and I'm breaking some of the berries off to dot around the wig, almost like they're purple pearl accessories. But once everything is all placed and set on the wig, it is ready to wear! Ta-da! Be sure to check out part 2 of this Everlasting Rose behind the scenes where I show how I made my standing spiderweb collar. Go check it out, go check it out, go! I wanted to give an enormous thank you to HarperCollins Publishers for commissioning me for this book look. If you'd like to see how I put the full book look for The Everlasting Rose by Dhonielle Clayton all together, check out Epic Reads #BookLooks playlist, which I'll have linked down below. Thank you all for watching. Let me know which book looks you'd like to see me do next, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!